Sag, say.
Animations.
Hello and welcome to Blender Model with Sag, episode 6. So far, we've made our keg for our draft beer system. So we're going to want to go ahead and bring that in. So let's get rid of our default cube here. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and go import ep6. We'll go into our files here. Beer keg. There. Now, we're going to want to have our industrial beer tap. I'm going to say probably we'll do 6 taps. So we'll go ahead here and we'll go duplicate object Y2, duplicate objects 4, duplicate objects Y6. So there. That's going to be the width of our beer cabinet. So we're going to go ahead and just add a cube. And now this is just going to be for measurement, because what we're going to work on right now is our drain. We're going to make multiple parts and we're just going to combine them once they're ready. So this is going to be for measurement purposes. Here, we're going to pull this out like so. Okay, we'll say that'd be the one end. Now over on this end, we're going to want to make sure we have enough room for our CO2. So we'll go about there. So now we're going to want to have a little drain, so when you're pouring beer, stuff tends to leak down, and we'll have a little catch tray with a little drain. So we're going to want to make that little drain with a pipe. So now let's go ahead back into edit object mode, and we're going to bring in another cube. Bring this up, and we're going to scale this right down. And let's see. We're going to say about there, I guess. There. Scale it down a little bit more, I guess. Yeah, that seems about right. We're going to hit S, Z to scale down, like that. And now we're going to go ahead and inset our face. Object mode, inset. We're going to go like that. And we're going to go ahead and bring that down just a tiny bit, like, say about like that. And now we're going to inset one more time. That. And now we're going to extrude that down. We'll say about there. Now then, we're going to go ahead with this, go like that. Now, this is going to be our little catch tray. This little lip here is where our grate is going to set in. Now, we're going to go into our X view. We're going to select our vertices, X-ray view, and we're just going to go ahead and grab this, turn off the X-ray, and now we're going to want to stretch this all the way to about, we'll say about there. Okay. Now, we're going to want to put some more loop cuts in. Say about there. Here. Here. Okay. That looks pretty good. So now we need a place for our drain to go. So over here, we're going to go ahead and select our face. We're going to inset our face. Hit S, then we're going to hit Y. Bring that in about there. We're going to move this over there. We're going to inset one more time, like so. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to select our edges, and we're going to subdivide each of these. Subdivide twice. Subdivide this twice. Subdivide this twice. And subdivide this twice. Select our face. Right click. Loop tools. Circle. S to scale. Save it up there. There we go. And now we're going to pull that down. We want to have a bit of a slope here. That way there the water will run down. And now we're going to extrude this down. Turn on our X-ray. Go into our X view. Pull that right down to about up there. Okay. Now then, our next step is going to be to go down here. We're actually going to go back into object mode, turn our X-ray off. We're going to select our cube here, and we are going to hide said cube. There we go. Now, each of these, well actually, it'd probably be easier if we just move this up here. There we go. And now down here, tab into edit mode, we're going to see where our little thing ended up. Select our face. We're going to inset our face. That. S on the Y. And we're going to move that. Turn on our X-ray again. We want to line that up as best we can with the other box. Move this on our Y over here. And we're going to scale that down to about there. Scale on the X. Perfect. And now we're going to inset our face to about there. And now we'll go out of our X-ray, go back over to here, select our edges. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, why can't we just one time select these? So I'll just show you. If we select all four, subdivide, and we go twice, now we have all these extra lines, and we don't want the extra lines. So I'm just going to go Control Z, and we'll just do each one twice, like so. Now, it would be probably relatively easy to just go and dissolve all the edges, but yeah, I'd rather just do it this way. Right click on our face, circle, Go into our X-ray again. Go up to our X view. And now we're just going to match. About, say, that. And now we're going to rotate just a little bit, just to get this to fit better. Like so. And now we're going to go out of our X view. And let's go inside of our box here. Select this. Bridge faces. Perfect. Now then. Perfect. So, at this point, we're going to go ahead and select our edges, go here, okay, and now we're going to extrude that down, hit Z twice so we can go vertically, there we go, and now we're going to have to go back here into object mode for scale. We're going to pull our object down, and we're going to want to have it, we'll say, about that far above. So now we're going to go back into edit mode, select this. We're going to pull our edge loops straight down to about, say about there. Now then, we're going to want to model our gooseneck. So extrude. Here, we're going to rotate. Now we'll have our gooseneck facing backwards. So go ahead here, rotate, pull forward, to pull this over, rotate, like so, pull this over, going to extrude one more time on our y-axis, x-axis, rotate this one more time. Now you could do this much faster using curves, but we're just starting out with Blender. We're going to need our practice. So we're going to practice this before we start getting into the more advanced techniques. Once you get used to extruding and all of this fun stuff, it gets more entertaining. There's a nice workflow you can create. But, see X, we're going to go ahead and pull this up. Rotate a little bit. And now go ahead and now we have our gooseneck. So now we're going to rotate this down a little bit, like so. Extrude one more time. And we're going to rotate this down. Extrude. Move this over just a tiny bit. We're going to rotate. And then we're going to go ahead and extrude one more time. X mode here. And now we're going to want to have this just a little bit above the floor. So we'll go about there. Okay, now we're going to move this on our X-axis back to here. Turn on our X-ray mode here. Select up these, this back, this back. Okay, we now have our gooseneck on our drain. And, fun fact for you, our gooseneck is actually here in order to keep gases and smells from coming from the sewer up. In the days before the gooseneck was invented, it was very common for people to be using their indoor plumbing. You know, you'd smell the swamp gas coming up through. You'd go to light your cigarette, and then bam, your whole building blows up. That methane is very flammable. Well, the gooseneck, you keep a little bit of water down here in this little area here, and that keeps the gas from going all the way up through, and you don't have to smell the methane, you don't have to worry about it exploding. It was a very good invention. It allows our indoor plumbing to be much safer than it was in the beginning, in the Victorian era. But anyway, we have our tray here. So now we're going to go back and we're going to bring back our box here. And we're actually going to keep our box for our measurement here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in another cube. So, object mode, add a cube, and let's see. We want to try to scale this so it's not too bad. So we're just going to go ahead and move our original cube back. And we're going to make this fit as nicely as possible. So hit a S, X to scale. And we'll say, that looks about right. Bring this here, X, this, and we're going to want to line this up as best we can. Like so. And now, of course, we want to have our kegs inside the cabinet, so we're going to go ahead and pull this up. Go on our X view, pull this down to there. We're going to go into our X-ray. And now this is going to show us. So, we still have our cube selected, so we're going to tab into edit mode, select our top face, X, and we're going to pull this down to about, we'll say, that looks about right. So, next what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start making our cabinet. So, let's go ahead and turn off the X-ray. Well, actually, let's leave that on for a minute. We're going to want to make our first door. So, go here, go X mode, and we'll say, going to extrude on the y-axis about 2, we'll say about there. So it's probably about one spot on the grid. So now we're going to go ahead, turn off our X-ray for the time being, select our top two, and we're going to get rid of these, delete faces. Then down here, we're going to go ahead and inset our face. About like so. And we're going to want to delete that face. And now we're going to go ahead and select this face. We're going to inset our face. S to scale. Bring that way down. S on X. Make that as square as possible. And now we're going to move this over to about, we'll say about there. Have it a bit offset. Yeah, about there. So now, if you can guess what we're doing, we are connecting these two. But first, we want to go ahead, select our object here. We want to use a solidify modifier. Generate, solidify. See here. We're just going to a little bit thicker. Yes, that looks very good. So now we're going to apply our modifier. There we go. We have our cabinet with all of its thickness. Now, edit mode. We're going to go back down here. Select this face. And select this face. We're going to go ahead and inset that. And then once again, we're going to go ahead and subdivide twice. Subdivide twice. Twice. And twice. Up here, same thing. Subdivide twice. Subdivide twice. Twice. And twice. And now we're going to go circle. S to scale. S on the X, Y. Scale that more around. Here, we're going to go loop tool, circle, S on the Y, S to bring it down. And now we go up here, get our X-ray turned on. And yeah, that's pretty close. So now we're going to select our other one. Oh, turn the X-ray off. This. And this. We're going to bridge edge loops. Bridge faces, rather. Okay. Perfect. Now then, our next step is going to be to bring our pipe over. our X, or Z rather. Okay, go back here, tabs, turn on the X-ray, turn on our lines, and now we're going to want to select this here, and we're going to scale that down. Okay, that looks about right. So now, before we get too carried away, we need to resize our tray here. X. Tab into edit mode. X-ray. Grab all our vertices here, and we're just going to pull this, say about there. And then we'll throw in one more edge in there. And there we go. And we're going to go back into object mode. Click these two. Actually, first, before we get too carried away, we want to make sure everything is properly seated. So I want this to be about even here, because it's going to be slightly okay, that's close. That's maybe just a tiny bit more. Yes. Now then. As you can see, we've got this going a little bit too far inside, so X-ray, select our loop here, X, and we're going to pull this up, because we don't want to have this too badly messed up. Turn the X-ray off. Okay. And next, we're going to go ahead and start working on our next little creation here. So we're going to go ahead and bring in a new cube. And we're going to want to match this to exactly the same size. So bring our cube up, like so, S to scale. S, up, S, S, up there, S and Z to scale. Okay. Okay. We've now got that pretty much matched. Okay, so now down here, going to tab in edit mode, select our face here, pull this down till we have it roughly matching. Okay, now we're going to pull this over here, match it here, here, select this face, and we're going to go ahead and pull this over to about there. Now we don't have to be exact, because when we do our cleanup later, we can fix all this. Whoopsie. Object mode, select this, come over. Okay, so now we go into our X-ray mode, and we're going to say that's pretty close to what we want. Let's see. I'm just going to select this face here. Turn off our X-ray for a moment. Grab that. X-ray back on. X mode. And we're going to say probably about there. I'm going to extrude that face over. There. Okay. Perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and delete this face. We're going to delete our top face. And we're also going to delete our side face. Okay. Now then, we're going to select this face. And once again, we're going to go ahead and inset our face. Let's say about there, I think. Yes. Scale that up just a tiny bit more. About there. Okay. Delete our face. And now, there we go. So once again, we're going to go ahead here, object mode. We're going to go over here and we're going to do another solidify modifier. 3. Okay. I think that looks nice. Actually, let's go down to 2, because I think that's, yeah. Yes, so I think it was 2 the last time. Okay, so as you can see, we have our thickness. Perfect, so we're going to apply that. And now we're going to duplicate our object. Y, go over to there, X. Okay, and then we're going to duplicate one more time. Have our third one here. Okay. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Now then, our next step is going to be to make these into one gigantic cabinet. So, we're going to just take the 3, join. Now then, just so we have more room to work, we're just going to bring this up on the Z-axis here. Go into Tab, select our vertices, and we're going to take a look-see here, where everything is connected. X-ray here. And we have a bit of a oddity up here. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But I think what we're going to do is just going to select these here. I'm going to go merge by distance. Distance. And then we're just going to go ahead and one more time. Oh. We have a loose vertex here. I think we made a bit of a mistake somewhere. So let's go ahead and Control Z, 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 and Z. And now then, let's just pull this up and see what's going on here. Turn this on rather, and X-ray off. Oh, I see. We do have a bit of a problem here, don't we? Okay. Oh, I see now. When we duplicated our object, we never got rid of that. Or when we did our solidify modifier. Okay. Before we did this, let's go ahead and delete this face, because this face is problematic. Okay, now when we do our solidify modifier, every now and again you have to kind of see what's going on with your mesh, because sometimes you never know. Could be a bit of a mistake. Let's go into object mode real quick. Object. And let's bring this up and see. Okay. So we should be all set then. So let's go ahead and do our solidify modifier. 2. Go apply. Now then, if we've done this right, this should work out. Okay, so duplicate on our Y. And then duplicate one more time on our Y. Join X. And now we're going to go ahead here into tab, go into our X-ray, turn this on. Okay, this should work now. Go ahead, select these guys, select merge by distance. And now we have 1. Oh, where are we? So now to know if we've done this correctly, we'll go ahead and select one vertex and try to move it. Perfect. Just like that, we've got one cabinet put together. As I'm noticing now, we don't quite have enough room for our, so we're just going to move this out just a tiny bit, about, we'll say about there. I think that looks good. I want to make sure we have enough room for our keg in there. So let's tab out of edit mode, turn the X-ray off, and now we'll select, make sure these are close enough, like so. Select our other, here, join, X, let's go into our X-ray, tab it, edit mode, now X-ray. Here we can see our little connector point. Merge by distance. Okay. And to test it, we'll test our seam. Turn the X-ray off. Okay. Perfect. And now we'll go over here. Tab in edit mode. Or tab out of edit mode rather. And now let's just move this out of the way a bit. Select this here. Now we need to do a bit of work here. We need to get rid of this wall and that wall, like so. Okay, now then, as you can see here, we're going to have a bit of a slight bit of a problem, but not too big a deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this here. We're going to extrude it over. Doesn't have to be exact. Go into Y. Oh, about, we'll say about there, give or take a little. Okay. Now then, we can go back out of edit mode, select our cabinet here, X, and we're going to bring this as close as we possibly can, about there. Tiny bit closer. And now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to save, because it's always good to incremental save. Save before all this stuff. Beer tap cabinet. To save. Now we can select our other cabinet here. Join. Go into our X mode, hit turn on the X-ray. Tab in edit mode. Vertices here. And now go ahead and carefully select these here. And now merge by distance. Now if we've done everything right, ooh, it would appear we've not aligned things properly, so undo that. So we're properly aligned. mostly up here. So what we're actually gonna have to do is go right across the board. We're just gonna move that up just a hair. Okay. Distance. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say probably that's good. Now then, down here we have a bit of a problem. Down to there. There. Actually, what we have to do is we have to select these guys, shift, select these, shift, select these, shift, select these, and these, and these. And now then, which direction do we need to go? Well, actually, it would appear we only really need to move the upper one. So, go ahead and select these, these. With a lot of the precision modeling and stuff here, you'll find yourself doing a lot of this. Making sure everything's perfectly level and square. Don't want anything to be too messed up. So we want to go up just a little bit. So, take a look, see what that looks like. Did we go far enough? Yes, we did. Up here, that looks good. So now we'll zoom back out. Select these guys here. We just want to select these. Merge by distance. And we need to up our distance. A bit more. And just to triple check, we're going to go ahead and turn off the X-ray. And we're going to take a look, see if anything looks messed up. That looks good. Ooh. Does not look good. We seem to have made a bit of a whoopsie here. So we're going to go into our Y view. It seems yes, there. We've warped somehow. Easy. For some reason, this got bent out of shape. Is this an interior or an exterior? So I think we might just have to do this manually. Oh, I see. How far back did we just backtrack? That's fine. Okay. Turn on X-ray to select all of this. Now we're going to go here. These guys. No. I think what we should probably do then is go ahead, select these, make sure everything is properly selected as best we can. We didn't align things quite as we should have, which is unfortunate. Go. Yeah. So now, what we're going to do is turn off the X-ray, separate, selection, like so, object mode, and we're going to move this away and see what happens. Okay, so now we've properly separated this. Now then, we're going to go Z, go underneath. We're going to select this, and we're going to have to resize this a bit. S on X. But we are not aligned up top. So, well, our video is getting a bit long, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause here. We'll call this an episode. If you've enjoyed so far, please like, subscribe. We'll catch you in part 2.